In a world of eco-hybrids and soft-touch family wagons, one car dares to shout, "I'm wealthy, angry, and probably late to a meeting." This is the 2025 Audi SQ8, and it's an SUV for people who want practicality, luxury, some speed, and just a pinch of V8 fueled rage. So today I'm going to test it and see how it goes. So from the outside, the SQ8 looks unmistakably like an Audi with these very aggressive lines. Looks a little bit like a regular Q8, only this one has been to the gym. So new for 2025 is this redesigned bumper at the front and also at the back, and then these extra large air intakes. This huge black grille is now even bigger than before, and I think qualifies for its own postcode. And then it has as many LED lights as you'd need for your holiday decorations. Of course, as with any seriously sporting vehicle these days, you gotta have blacked out badges. The front are blacked out, the back ones are blacked out, the mirrors are black, the roof rails are black, and the side area of the windows are also black. But bear in mind, that will cost you $1,100, but more on the price later. It sits pretty low too, and of course that's perfect for the school run if the school run includes the Nürburgring. It's got a decent sized cargo area for those things that you never use, yoga mats, overpriced wine, and possibly the guilt having spent so much money on this car. But having said that, you got 30 cubic feet here and about 60.8 if you fold those seats down. And then under here, you do get a spare wheel in case one of your very expensive wheels gets a puncture. Speaking of wheels, there are 23 inches of absolute unapologetic overcompensation. They're absolutely huge. Now the base wheels are 22, so these are an option. And wearing these 285/35s Continental Sport Contact 6, they have really, really soft rubber on them. So if you buy them, do not expect them to last very long. Brakes are also huge, 6 pistons, 4 on the back. Rotors are 15.8 inches, 13.8 on the back. So under the hood, you can't see a whole lot. This huge plastic cover covers the actual engine, but it's a 4-liter twin turbo, direct injection, double overhead cam, 32 valve V8. It's got 500 horsepower, 568 foot-pounds of torque, and it's driven through an 8-speed automatic transmission, and all wheels are driven through the Quattro drivetrain. According to Audi, 0-60 takes around 3.9 seconds. I think it's going to be quicker. It is a bit of a porker though. It weighs close to 5,500 pounds. Guess how much this is? No, you're wrong. Base prices start at $97,600. This has got a lot of extra stuff on it though. This is a Prestige, so you're going to pay $7,300 for a Prestige. That includes this acoustic glass. And then inside, multiple way power seats, including heat and cool. Heat for the rear seats. You also get a head-up display. You also get a massage function. These blinds, because you can't see in, are also included. Next on the list is the S Sport package, which includes active roll stabilization and of course these bright red painted calipers. Next is the sound system. It's a fantastic sound system. It's Bang & Olufsen. That'll cost you $4,900. But wait, there's more. The luxury package is $3,700. That gives you a Dynamica headliner, leather on the dash, doors, console, and the armrests. On top of that, you get night vision for $2,500. And then the black optic package that I mentioned earlier gives you those Audi rings, black exterior mirrors, exterior trim, etc. is $1,110. So once you've finished checking all the boxes, this one totals out at $127,490. Not too bad in the back. These seats do actually recline maybe half an inch. Better than nothing. Beautiful leather on these seats across all here. Heated, as I said. Really nice material quality. Cool sort of graphic design here. On the doors, these are these shades that I mentioned earlier. A little bit of storage space. Vents here, and nicely vents right here as well to cool your face, and then you can play around and change the temperature. You've got control of the climate control. There's a 12 volt and 2 USBs underneath, and then in here you got 2 kind of small cup holders, which is a problem also in the front. In the front you get everything you possibly need and more. The design, the overall design, is still modern, a little bit different to most of the new cars that are coming out, kind of like that. Again, leather everywhere, leather, 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 leather here. Seats are super comfortable. Again, you got the massage functionality, full power, memory on both sides, really nice wheel. Again, Audi has always done a good job, and this still holds up after 7 years. Touchscreens and the dash design and everything is very typically Audi, and it's so well put together. I'm sure IKEA furniture is crying itself to sleep over how well this is done. In the center console, you've got dual touchscreens with haptic feedback. It does take a bit of a push to get things to work. They're not as touchy as you might believe. The top one is exclusively for everything other than the climate control, which is down here. It's not bad. There aren't any physical buttons apart from this volume knob here, but it isn't difficult to change the temperature while you're driving. So here, Audi's software makes it easy to pair your phone. You've got a whole bunch of settings you can go into. You've even got Alexa. You can change the settings for the ambient lighting, depending on how passive-aggressive you're feeling. Red if you're angry, blue if you're feeling pretty calm. Down here, you've got stop-start. Stop-start's a little finicky. If you're in D and say individual mode, we'll go into the modes in a second, then it almost stops the car before you've actually come to a full stop. So I like to turn this off. Then you have to redo it every single time you get back in the car and start the car. You got a hill descent control, though I'm not sure any owner would take this car there, and then some park assist stuff as well. And then below that you've got drive select, and then your traction control on off. Engine start stop, some parking stuff, and there's that volume control. Okay, drive select gives you individual, dynamic, auto, comfort, and all road. Simply press the pencil right there. I have drive, sport, suspension, comfortable. Ooh, why is that? Steering I have balanced, I like it that way. Engine sound present, so it's at its noisiest. Why do I have the suspension in comfortable? Because it's a little crashy in sport mode, and comfortable gives you that almost Nürburgring feel. I told you were going to need that for the school run when you're on pretty rough Southern California roads. I've always liked Audi shifters, kind of reminds me of Star Trek. Parking brake, 12 volt, 2 cup holders that are too small. And the reason why they're too small is my phone won't fit in them, and that's typically where I put my phone unless there's a proper spot, which there isn't. Underneath the armrest there is a proper spot, but you have to be charging your phone to do that. Technically I could leave it here and close the lid, but then I have to keep opening the lid in order to get it out every time. It's not ideal, the storage is not perfect. All right, ahead of the driver you get the virtual cockpit. You've got wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, and as I said, a really nice Bang & Olufsen sound system. That's one of the tweeters that rises out of the dash when you start the car. So pretty bad fuel consumption. That's because I've been driving in individual and S all the time. You got your speedo, revs, how many miles, temperature, kind of warm today. But you can change the views. I don't like this one because it's kind of messy. And then you can add maps on here or other stuff. Connect mobile device, which I already have. Consumption. You can scroll through. This is my long-term memory. Gosh, that's even worse, 12.5. Generally, it still remains to be one of the best virtual cockpits out there. And then finally, you get this panoramic sunroof, which has a proper cover instead of a hairnet that Audi normally puts on these cars. Okay. Time to drive it. All right, let's go. Find a spot where we can test the launch on this thing. Got my little V-box right here. Engine sounds pretty good. I have it on the loudest setting, of course. Actually sounds better outside because this acoustic glass is pretty much drowns out everything. Certainly knocks you back in the seat. Likes to get quite aggressive in this individual mode that I have. It's holding the gears. It really knows that I'd like to play a little here. I did try it in the sport setting for steering. It felt a little bit artificial, so I went back into the more comfortable mode. It seems to work. All right, foot down. Surprising, it actually holds the road really well. Although I did say these Continentals are very sticky, but also the anti-roll stabilization means there almost isn't any roll. And these tires grip into oblivion, plus the overall suspension does a really good job of controlling this 5,500 pound car. Okay, let's turn off here. Hard on the brakes. Oh yeah, nice. They are good. Good pedal feel too. Sounds great. All right, hard on the brakes again. We'll definitely be getting that engine temperature up today because it's 91 degrees outside. So if I just tootle along here, turn off traction control. All right, got the warnings. We'll stop by this dead squirrel. All right, so hard on the brake, full down. A little bit of a delay. Savage shifts. Let's see if we've matched the 3.9. 3.9 seconds. I'm sure if I had a few more goes, I could do a whole lot better. Let's take it on some twisty roads and give it a little bit of a beating. Yep, it gets up to speed quite quickly. I am liking this car though. I do like the way it drives. Now, how does it compare with the SQ8? Well, that you get an absolutely hardcore machine, and it probably has more power than most people would ever need. All right, passing is absolutely a doll. And I really like the SQ8. But unlike this car, it's not subtle in any way. But this still has that sort of sledgehammer feel to it when you really stick your foot down. Just instant accelerations. That 568 foot-pounds of torque kicks in really low. And most of these Audi turbos, or all of the Audi turbos, are not particularly high revving cars, but boy, do you get a lot of torque. And I got a sneaky feeling that this one has a little more than the 500 horsepower that it says on the label. Well done, Audi. Loving this thing. Very good job. No, I just need to find the money to buy one. So what do we think? Well, the SQ8 hasn't really changed a whole lot in the last 7 years since it was first introduced, but it is still a very compelling car. It's fast, it's loud, it's very luxurious, and it's not really trying to make any excuses for that. Because you know what? It's not trying to save the planet. It's trying to put a huge smile on your face when you mash that pedal into the carpet. Once again, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time with another video. Out.